Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the last Hannibal reaction. I can't believe we're at the last episode. The show has been quite the ride and I just I'm sad that it's over. I'm sad that it's about to be over. But I'm also really excited to see how they actually go and wrap this whole thing up. So to start with, they have to wrap up Red Dragon, the Red Dragon storyline, and they left off at kind of a abrupt place, with right when Dollarhide reveals to Reba, he says, "I am," that he is the dragon. Oh, Merlin, hi. So I'm assuming it's gonna open right back up with that, and we have to show, if he's gonna do it, his fake suicide, and then somehow he has to be defeated, killed, whatever happens to him, so that he is no longer a menace and on the streets. And we know it's going to happen differently than it does in the source material. And then, of course, we have to have a conclusion to the main characters' plot lines, particularly the Will and Hannibal relationship dynamic. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to go about this. I'm looking forward to it, but also, like I said, I'm sad. Couple of things. One, I've been told that I have to wait until the end credits, that there's an end credit scene like there was at the end of season 2, so thank you for letting me know that. I will make sure that I keep watching. And two, I am thinking about potentially doing a live stream, maybe like a week or so after this premieres on YouTube, where we can just talk about Hannibal as a whole, the series as a whole, and our thoughts and reflections, and anything about like the last episode here in particular, but really about the whole thing. So you guys let me know if that's something you might be interested in, and yeah, we can try and see if we can do that, but... Alright, let's do it. Last episode of Hannibal. Here we go.
I'll bite you. Better you go with me. Oh, Reba. I can't stand to watch you burn.
That's quite a shot. They made it look pretty convincing. So, I'm curious, for people that had never seen the other, filmed versions of this, or hadn't read the source material, were you convinced? Did you believe that he had killed himself? And if so, like, what was your thoughts? Were you like, what the hell? After all of this and everything, he just kills himself at the beginning of the finale? What is happening? Because I think they did a pretty good job of making it look convincing, right? With even they had, I guess, the body that he was using standing upright, it seemed, so that it looked like the shotgun had shot him while standing, and then, yeah. So I'm just curious if you guys were convinced, if you didn't, like, know about this already, so. And, yeah. Now it's happened. Now we're in unfamiliar territory for me, so.
I was rooting for you, Will. It's a shame. Came all this way and you didn't get to kill anybody.
Oh my god.
Only consolation is Dr. Chilton. Congratulations for the job you did on him. I admired it enormously. What a cunning boy you are.
Oh my god.
Are you accusing me of something? Does the enemy inside you agree with the accusation? Even when life becomes maddeningly polite. Think about me.
It's like, I don't want to think about you.
Don't worry about me.
You turned yourself in, so I would always know where you were. You'd only do that if I rejected you.
Exactly.
Good.
Well, was it good to see me?
No?
Good? No.
Yes. It was obviously not good. Will is absolutely drawn to you and maybe in love with you in his own way, if we're going back to the conversation with Bedelia. But it's a toxic, abusive kind of love, which you can argue whether or not it actually is love when the abused individual in the relationship feels that they love them. It's a very complicated sort of thing. But regardless, even if he was like felt driven to see you and got some sort of charge from the interactions, of course he's not going to say it was good to see you. What he said about Chilton. It's the only consolation. Oh my god. And then the other thing. Okay.
I understand that blood and breath are only elements undergoing change to fuel your radiance.
Hannibal's
Hannibal
words.
said those words to me. I wanted to share with Lecter, and Lecter betrayed me.
Of course.
He betrayed me
He
too.
betrays everyone.
I would like to share. You shared with Reba. I shared with Reba a little, in a way that she could survive. But you didn't change her. I chose not to change her. I am stronger than the dragon.
Woo!
Hannibal Lecter is who you need to change. I want to meet Lecter. How would I manage that?
A lot of things going on here right now. So alright, so Will is able to know exactly what to say to him. Hannibal betrayed me too, used Hannibal's words to try and draw him out. And then Dollarhide basically kind of saying that he wants, he thought that he could have this dynamic relationship with Hannibal. But now maybe he's saying he kind of wants that with Will, because Will understands what he's gone through, his situation. And Will's telling him that he should change, aka kill Hannibal. That's what's going on now. And you see the look in Will's eyes, by the way. He's partially playing him, but he's not totally playing him. Like, that is, yeah, that's that righteous fury that, Bedelia was talking about, righteous violence. Yeah. I'm very curious where the heck this is about to go. Oh my god.
Withdraw the dragon. I just say that it's our best last
Will's fucking crossing lines again.
shot. Set him up how? We take Hannibal into federal custody. We fake an escape.
It seems risky. Shh. Bedelia's like, yeah, don't you do that! Are you out of your mind?
Degrees of disadvantage.
Who holds the devil, let him hold him well. You will hardly be caught a second time.
Yeah.
I don't intend Hannibal to be caught a second time.
Can't live with him. Can't live without him. Is that what this is?
I guess this is my becoming.
What you're becoming is pathological.
Damn, Will.
Extreme acts of cruelty require a high degree of empathy.
You've just found religion.
Oh, God.
Nothing more dangerous than that.
A lot of this is what you were telling him, Bedelia.
I'd pack my bags if I were you, Bedelia. Meat's back on the menu.
Oh my God.
You righteous, reckless, twitchy little man. He might as well cut all of our throats and be done with it.
Jeez.
Ready or not, here he comes.
Will's out of his mind. He's out of his fucking mind right now. Oh my God. Everything Bedelia's saying is correct. And Will's just throwing back in her face all the things that she has said to him and trying to, like, maybe get him to face some of his own ways of being and feeling toward Hannibal and their relationship. But of course she's terrified. This is a terrible idea. You're going to fake an escape for Hannibal with the idea that then the dragon potentially could kill him, or they could kill each other, or you could kill both of them, and somehow that's how this is supposed to play out. You fake an escape for Hannibal, there's a good chance that Hannibal's actually going to escape, and that's what Bedelia is thinking right now. And I'm sure Jack has to be thinking, is there a part of Will that just wants him to escape? Is that what this is? This is just a terrible idea. A terrible idea. Oh my God. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens, but she's right, Will.
These are not as wise as you are. I might escape in earnest and come to kill you.
First chance you get, I assume.
You died in my kitchen, Alana. When you chose to be brave. Every moment since is borrowed.
Jeez.
Your wife. Your child.
Oh my God.
They belong to me. You made a bargain for Will's life. And then I spun you gold.
I'm still so pissed about that, to be honest. I'm still so mad about that in the finale of season 2, where she showed up at his house and he basically said, you know, walk away and I won't come after you, but if you don't walk away, I'm gonna kill you. And then he says, now it's a promise, and he's gonna kill you no matter what, and just goes through. I mean, it was a great speech and everything, but I'm still furious about it. Like, after everything you did to her and put her through, you couldn't just let her off the hook for that one moment. Like, she didn't betray you. You betrayed her. I'm still so mad about that. I can't eat. okay, that clearly wasn't part of the plan with Jack. But now I'm wondering, and I really hope not, but was that part of Will's plan? For Dollarhide to come in and do that? To release them? To release Hannibal? Like, to release him for real in that situation? And kill all those people in the process? Was that part of Will's plan? Because if they went along with the full Jack plan, then they'd be under guard and everything? Or did Dollarhide just, like, figure out they were moving him and somehow coincidentally be there at the same time? Oh, God. I don't know if I even want to know the answer. Guys.
Save yourself, kill them all.
I don't know if I can save myself. Maybe that's just fine.
No greater love hath man than to lay down his life for a friend.
Is that what you
He's
are
watching
saying you're
us
doing,
now.
Hannibal?
I know.
But not as wonderful as the act itself.
Oh my God! Ah!
This is all I ever wanted for you, Will. For both of us. It's beautiful.
A blood-red setting sun, rushing through my veins, burning up my skin. I will.
So he lived? Ah. I don't even know what to say right now. What did I just watch? What just happened? All right. So I don't know how I feel about this at this moment. Like, I legitimately don't know how I feel. Because on the one hand, I feel like it kind of ended the only way it could end, with the way it was built. And on the other hand, I kind of hate it. I And then the thing with Bedelia at the end changes it too, because that suggests either one of two things. Either only Hannibal survived that somehow, and so he came back and he's gonna kill her. Or he and Will both survived, and they're off living together as the murder husbands. And if it's the first one and just Hannibal survived, then this is basically the tragic story of Will Graham's horrible final last years of life and demise at the hands of Hannibal. And if Will did survive, then this is the tragic story of the beaten down, manipulated, emotionally abused Will Graham running off into a murder husband relationship with Hannibal. And I almost hope he died, because, I mean, you guys know how I feel about that relationship, and how, you know, it really, obviously there's a huge connection between them, and it's significant, and it's a kind of love, but it's an abusive one. And like, even Bedelia was saying a lot this season, you are not actually like him, Will. Like, you have a capacity for righteous violence, but that's a different thing. And so, you know, him being willing to watch potentially Hannibal die, or participating in that, makes sense. Him participating in the killing of Dollarhide makes sense. And even him enjoying it makes sense in light of that idea of the righteous violence coming up out of him and what he's drawn to because of who he is. So I could see that. And like I said, if it just ended with the ending and not the extra credit scene, I would kind of hate it, in the sense that I hate that happened to Will. But I wouldn't hate it as an ending, you know. As a show ending for Hannibal, it could make sense because of everything this relationship is built up into. You know, like, the happy scenario for Will would be if his dynamic with Hannibal had ended in the earlier scene where he first said goodbye, where he kind of reiterated the idea that he rejected him. He rejected him all over again, basically, and said it wasn't even good to see you, and then walked out, and I'm going to go back, and, you know, as hard as it's going to be, I'm going to try to make this work with my family. Which, indeed, in the source material, where he has this very different relationship with Hannibal, he presumably does continue on with life with his family. So that would be like the happy ending for Will, but of course it couldn't go that simplistically, especially because of how they've put it up so that Hannibal had tainted that, so that he would always, with his wife and her son, have reminders of Hannibal, like he couldn't get away from it, so Hannibal would be on his mind, and he'd always know where Hannibal was, and there would always be a possibility that he would be called back in with Jack and get further drawn in, and that he would be tempted because of Hannibal, and he could never fully get away with it, or get away with him being out of his life entirely. Like Bedelia said, can't live with him, can't live without him. So it makes sense to me also that he thinks the only solution to this is possibly for Hannibal to die, and he comes up with this crazy scenario, which could also potentially lead to Dollarhide dying. And once they were there at the place, and he's just standing over there with that blank expression, watching Hannibal get shot and everything that's going on, to me it seemed like pretty clear that Will's plan at that point was for all three of them to die. He had felt once he got drawn back in, once Dollarhide was still alive, once he made the decision that he had to try and draw him out and he was going to use Hannibal, once Dollarhide had attacked him, that the choice was for all of them to die, that he wasn't getting out, that he couldn't go back, that was it. He was irreparably damaged by all of this. And so he made that choice. And he didn't expect to survive. And he was hoping that neither of them survived either, which of course is what happened, so I guess that was a success for him. I'm still curious though, like how far he was in on Dollarhide actually showing up at that point in time to facilitate the actual escape as opposed to the fake escape. Because a lot of innocent people died in the process, and if Will was involved in that, that's pretty bad. And that's quite different than him killing people who he feels deserve to die for who they are and their crimes. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm gonna have to sit with it for a while. It was beautifully done, just as a cinematic. The end there, all from the moment that, you know, Will gets stabbed in the neck through the entire battle and then the falling off the cliff. It was beautifully done. Wonderfully shot. I just don't know how to feel right now. And then, like I said, the Bedelia ending changes things because that shows that at least Hannibal survived. Which of course makes sense to me because the idea that they could kill off Hannibal, this kind of iconic devilish character from horror, yeah, it would surprise me. It would have surprised me if he had died. I'm sorry, Bedelia. She was totally right when she was so upset with Will. But, like I said, so then the two options are Hannibal lived and Will died, or they both lived and they're off being murder husbands together. I mean, I suppose there's always a theoretical option where they both lived, but, like, Hannibal left Will behind, but I don't see that happening. So I think it has to be one of the two. And honestly, out of those things, I think I would prefer if Will died. I think I would prefer if then it's just the tragic story of Will. But I know a lot of people probably disagree. A lot of people probably are really happy at the thought of the two of them out there in the murder-husband relationship going around killing people. But then with Hannibal, he's just going to go around and kill a bunch of people that don't deserve it. And that, to me, would take away a lot of the point of the story. And, I mean, why would they even have Bedelia making the argument that you're not like Hannibal and trying to emphasize that again? I don't know. I'm a little overwhelmed, guys. But I will say, overall, this series was amazing. It was amazing to watch. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's not like anything else that I've ever watched, for sure. It's incredibly unique. The entire cast was brilliant. Mads, I love him forever now. I really didn't think going into this that I would ever, like, be able to look at anyone as more of, like, my Hannibal than Anthony Hopkins, you know? But now I really think that Mads is my Hannibal. Like, he's my number one Hannibal now. Like, no question. It was just, and, visually, it was amazing and beautiful. But yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed here, guys. So yeah, so I had mentioned I'm thinking about doing a live stream sometime, hopefully in the next week on YouTube, probably on YouTube, as just kind of like a farewell Hannibal, you know, when I'm also kind of a little more time has passed and I have more time to think about things, and then maybe we can chat a little bit just about it, and you guys can give me some of your thoughts as well, and we can bounce things off of each other. And maybe I'm just sad because I don't want to let it go yet, so that would be a nice finale to it. But Yeah, I'm sad it's over. It was a wonderful show. I'm gonna have to watch it again. Like, there's a lot of things, I bet, that, like, details and things that I didn't pick up on. Yeah, so I'm excited to do that again. So yeah, keep an eye out for messages about the potential live stream. I'll try to post in the community tab or on Patreon, just, on the main page. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the end of Hannibal. So, thank you so much for joining me for watching this amazing show with me. It was a great experience. I hope you had a lot of fun with these reactions. And hopefully I can see you in the future, either for the live chat or for some other series videos. Bye.